all eyes around the state, around the country, around the world are on the Indiana Fever. And Bria, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Get ready, because what just happened in the WNBA wasn't just a game. It was an absolute onslaught of history. A night so packed with unprecedented moments, it might have changed the league forever. You probably saw the headlines. Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double in the season opener. But trust me, that headline barely scratches the surface. While everyone was focused on one player and one stat line, the Indiana Fever were busy dismantling the record books, setting 11 different records in a single night. And what was truly shocking wasn't just what they did, but the unbelievable speed at which some of these players are reaching legendary status, a pace the WNBA has simply never witnessed before. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement that demands a closer look.
There it is! A triple.
Let's start with the obvious, but immediately shift perspective. Caitlin Clark's triple-double grabbed all the attention, and rightly so. But the real story is the terrifying speed at which she's operating. We're talking about breaking records that took the league's icons' entire careers to achieve. Take games with 20 or more points and 10 or more assists, a benchmark of offensive dominance and playmaking.
Having the Fever organization be what it is today, like, it is just so fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of anticipation.
You've done a great job in training camp leading to this moment. Enjoy it. Okay, go out there and have some.
Courtney Vandersloot, a WNBA assists legend, needed over 430 games to reach 10 such performances. Diana Taurasi, arguably the greatest scorer in history, also has 9 games with 20+ points and 10+ assists. How many games did it take Taurasi to get there? 565 games. Caitlin Clark, she just hit her 9th game with 20 and 10 assists. Total games played in her career, 41. Let that sink in.
Bonner is the 4th all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. And in her first game with the Fever, will likely move into 3rd all-time. She's currently just 6 points behind Tina Thompson for 3rd on the all-time scoring charts.
In less than 1/10 the time it took a legend, she's already matching their output in key statistical categories. That is not normal. That is an acceleration of greatness that is fundamentally altering the landscape of professional basketball, and it's happening right before our eyes.
Bonner, who knocks it away. Cookies, DB, open court, right side, and she lays it in.
But amidst the Clark phenomenon, a different kind of history was quietly being made. A milestone forged over 15 years of relentless excellence that almost flew under the radar. Dana Bonner, a veteran force in the WNBA, stepped onto the court needing just 7 points to climb into truly elite territory. She was standing on the doorstep of becoming only the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the league's 28-year history.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good. Joanna Bonner now 3rd in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. Lord, and here's the ovation for Bonner.
What makes Bonner's achievement even more special is how she's transformed the Fever's culture. This isn't just some aging star chasing.
Think about the dedication, the consistency, the sheer volume of buckets required to reach this point, passing icons through stints with Phoenix, Connecticut, and now leading the way in Indiana. Would her monumental achievement be lost in the Fever mania? Would it register with a crowd hyped up for the new era? The tension was palpable for those who understood the history unfolding.
You know, DB is somebody that, you know, is a Hall of Famer, like a legend, not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. You know, the strongest voice in our locker room is hers, and it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in. And I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her because she certainly deserved that moment, and it was really awesome to see and be a part of.
The moment arrived in the fourth quarter. Dana Bonner was sent to the free throw line, a place she's been thousands of times, but this time felt different. The first shot swished, tying the record. The second, pure perfection. That free throw pushed her career total past 7,188 points, vaulting her past WNBA legend Tina Thompson and securing her spot as the third highest scorer in league history, joining only Tina Charles and Diana Taurasi in that exclusive club.
Bonner's climb to become the third all-time leading scorer wasn't just a personal achievement. It set the tone for what would become a night of record-breaking performances. Now Bonner has only Tina Charles ahead of her at 7,696 points for the second spot on the all-time list. But as impressive as her achievement was,
the arena announcer shared the news, and the Indiana crowd, even in their fervor, rose to give Bonner a well-deserved standing ovation. It was a powerful, emotional moment, proof that while the league's future is blindingly bright, the history built by players like Bonner still holds immense weight and commands respect. And Dana Bonner's impact extends far beyond the box score points.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
This isn't just a veteran cashing checks. This is a 6-time All-Star, a 2-time champion, a player with championship DNA woven into her game, who chose to bring her invaluable experience to a young, hungry roster. Her presence isn't just about scoring, it's about mentorship, about leadership, about showing young stars like Clark, Boston, Mitchell, and Hall what it truly takes to win at the highest level. When she speaks in the locker room, they listen. Her voice is the strongest, providing guidance and a calming, experienced presence in high-pressure moments.
that's exclusive company for any player, let alone one in just her third year.
Yes, great job of those long arms of Aaliyah Boston here, going up multiple times, and then...
Her historic scoring night wasn't just a personal achievement, it was a symbol of the veteran wisdom anchoring a potentially explosive young core, changing the culture of the Fever organization from the inside out. But the night of individual dominance and historic milestones kept rolling, and the focus shifted to another Fever star ready to make a statement.
Hit it once, I'll hit it again. Pow, pow, pow! Fever done.
Remember the questions surrounding Aaliyah Boston? Remember the hype around facing off against fellow SEC stars? Or the highly publicized rivalry with Angel Reese? Critics wondered if Boston could truly dominate the paint against top-tier competition. Those doubts were not just erased against the Chicago Sky, they were absolutely obliterated. Boston delivered a defensive masterclass that left jaws on the floor, proving exactly why she is a franchise cornerstone.
Ready for the season to tip off. It's the Fever against the Chicago Sky. We saw record crowds a season ago, and I'd say they are back and raring to go in 2025.
She owned the paint, swatting away shots with authority. 5 blocks sent the Sky's offense reeling. Powerful rejections that weren't just statistics, but momentum-changing plays. It seemed every time Angel Reese or another opponent drove to the basket, Boston was there. Long arms extended, perfect timing on display, shutting down everything.
The Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky in a blowout victory, and I have 3 words. Oh my God. Or now you know.
This dominant defensive performance wasn't just impressive, it moved Boston into 6th place all time in blocks in Fever franchise history. Already in just her 3rd season, add her 13 rebounds, placing her 8th in franchise history in that category, and you see a player rapidly climbing the ranks. Her stat line of 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks puts her in truly rare WNBA company, making her only the 2nd player ever to reach those numbers in a season opener. Against the hyped matchup, Boston didn't just hold her own, she commanded the paint and made a resounding statement. And then came perhaps the most unexpected, jaw-dropping defensive statistic of the night, a record set by a duo you might not have predicted. While Boston was a force inside, Caitlin Clark was quietly contributing on the defensive end in a way few expected. Clark finished the night with a career-high 4 blocks. 4 blocks from a point guard. These weren't just lucky deflections, they were active hands, disruptive plays, adding a dimension many thought was missing from her game.
Not the first one in your career, but you had 4 blocks out there. That's more than you ever had in college. Matches your WNBA career high. Felt like you were channeling the spirit of Gabby Marshall out there with the blocks. Is that a part of your game that you've been working on the postseason? Are we going to see more blocks out of you as your career rolls on?
Not really.
But combine Clark's 4 blocks with Boston's 5, and you get a total of 9 blocks from a single duo, a point guard and a center. That total wasn't just impressive, it set a WNBA record for the most blocks by any 2 players in a season-opening game in league history. It was a stunning display of rapid chemistry and defensive evolution from the Fever's young cornerstones, proving they are developing into a two-way threat much faster than anyone could have predicted.
It's not really something you can work on. I don't know, I felt like I had active hands. I had some pokes when our post players were playing good defense, and you know, coaching staff has just challenged me to try to be a better defender every single practice and just getting better in that area. I still feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve. I don't think any of those blocks were too obvious. You know, you look at the stat sheet and it's like, oh wow, 4, but you know, you can get your hand on there and help your teammate out. It makes a world of a difference. So,
circling back to the headline, Clark's individual historic achievement was the triple-double, but the way she got it was just as compelling. As the clock wound down, the arena buzzed with anticipation. History was within reach. Clark needed just 2 more assists and 1 more rebound to secure the first ever 20-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double in a WNBA season opener. Every pass became a moment of collective holding breath.
There it is! A triple.
Every missed shot had eyes glued to see if she could snag the board. Then it happened. A perfect pass to Aaliyah Boston for a mid-range jumper, securing the 10th assist. The crowd erupted. Minutes later, she briefly re-entered the game and grabbed that crucial 10th rebound, sending the building into absolute pandemonium. History made. Clark's 20-10-10 performance wasn't just a triple-double. It was a 20-point triple-double, a rarer feat, placing her 3rd on the all-time list and tying Alyssa Thomas for 2nd most 20-point triple doubles ever.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
But the most mind-blowing statistic of the night, the one that truly separates Clark and this Fever team, is the pace. We already touched on the 20-point, 10-assist games, 9 such games in 41 career games. Compare that again. Torresy, 9 in 565 games. Vandersloot, 10 in 430 games. Clark is achieving in months what took legends years and years. She is not just breaking records, she is completely shattering the established timelines of WNBA achievement.
Well, the regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what did the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
She is rewriting the record books at warp speed. If she maintains even a fraction of this rate, it's not hyperbole to say she is on track to own virtually every meaningful WNBA point, assist, and triple-double record by the end of her career. This game against Chicago wasn't just one player performing well, it was tangible statistical proof that we are witnessing something unprecedented, something that defies typical WNBA history. The Indiana Fever's victory over the Chicago Sky was a 93-58 thrashing, a 35-point demolition that represents the second largest margin of victory in franchise history. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement of intent. It showcased what happens when generational talents like Clark and Boston align, anchored by veteran leadership like Dana Bonner, and supported by a strong cast. Shattering 11 records in a single night is not a fluke. It's a warning shot. It leaves you wondering, if this is what they can do on opening night, what else is possible? How many more records will fall? And how quickly will this group redefine what we thought was possible in the WNBA? The league is on notice. The Fever are here, and they're not just playing the game. They're changing it, one record-breaking performance at a time.